Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Welcome to Nintendo Prime Live. Be ready to jump up and jive because I like to give all my best takes. After 1, 2, 5 big drinks. Reality is we're here to have fun. I think it's time the stream has begun. Oh, baby. Pop it off 3 minutes ahead of the timer because it is that time of day. Hi, everyone. Happy freaking Thursday. How's it going? It is August 5th, 2021, and we're here to have a good old time. So, all super chats and donations tonight lead to shots as always. Beyond all of that, we have a member goal up here. If we can hit 100 members at some point, so we need 10 more this month. We will do a giveaway live. Otherwise, let's have some fun here, and I'm going to shout out every single person who is here in the chat today. Now, I know I look a little bit dull and washed out. My studio light is not currently on at the moment. Maybe I'll fix that later. We'll see. But let me shout out everyone who's here first, and we'll just kick off from there. First up, we have Joe Henry is here. Jamie On Forever is here. David Haney, Kevin Wallace, Brian C., Donna Savoy, one of our members of the board of directors of the Nintendo Prime. Welcome. Christopher Lockhart is here. We got Crazy's Cough, another member of the board of directors. We got RZ Reacts is here. Tyler Wrights, Ricky. We got Justin Aqua Toad McGowan. Welcome. Birdman is here as well. Brian C. We had another member of the board of directors here in Jeff Rule. We have another member of the board of directors in Venatus712. Welcome. We have another member at Tony0096. Welcome, welcome, welcome. DeFox is here as well. We have Preplayed123, one of our new members of the board of directors of Nintendo Prime. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And where did I lose my spot at? There it is. Let's see here. Second, the Pikachu fan is here as well. Welcome. APC, Nate Vargas, Mankey Music, Omax Pie, Seahawks24 Rule, Joycey J, Blitzer is here. We got Hunted Knight as well. I think that's everyone. If I missed you, I apologize. I tried to shut everyone out. And now I'm going to go turn that studio light on because I don't like the colors on me. I look a little gray. I'm telling you, I don't look gray in real life. So hold on. Hold on. Let me hit that light. Damn it, Nintendo Prime. Aren't you supposed to be more prepared? Be more prepared, damn it. Ah! It's all right. You know what? The way my life works, every now and then things... Oh, that's much better. Every now and then things don't go quite as planned. So, here we go. Welcome to another Nintendo Prime Live. Obviously, we spend a majority of the time doing Q&As. If you have questions you want to ask me, all you have to do is at Nintendo Prime in the chat, and I will do my best to get to you. Obviously, if you super chat your questions, jump to the top of the pile. Besides that, just got a couple little starter topics for you guys today. First one is Nintendo's new content strategy. So this has been quite interesting to pay attention to, how Nintendo's handling post-launch content. We obviously know with games like Splatoon, really from the very beginning, back on Wii U, they would trickle out content for a while with that game, and it later, I don't know, I'd say probably within 9 months, the game actually felt quote-unquote complete, but the game itself didn't necessarily feel that way at launch. And okay, it was a new IP, so there was a little more to the UA game, and then they did the same thing again with Splatoon 2. Moving beyond all that, obviously we know earlier this year they added a massive online features to Super Mario Party, and then now recently we've gotten a couple more updates showing Nintendo's content strategy. Things like Mario Golf got an update today, a new course, new character, etc. When it felt like it was lacking courses at launch, and all of a sudden now we have another one, and they plan to do many more of these in the future for free. Also, while this isn't Nintendo themselves, Pokemon Snap got a post-launch update as well, and that update added a whole new territory and new Pokemon, and added some new abilities that weren't there before, making that game feel like an even more complete game. And all these updates were free. Nintendo didn't charge you for them. The people behind, the Pokemon Company, etc., didn't charge you for that Pokemon Snap update. This has all been free. And it's very interesting because while other games might have free content here and there, Nintendo's adding significant free content that sometimes, from other people, would be put behind paywalls or microtransaction to you. That doesn't mean that Nintendo doesn't dabble in paid DLC. They had paid DLC for Mario Kart 8. Back on Wii U anyways. Obviously, we got all that DLC included in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We had paid DLC for Breath of the Wild. So they have had paid DLC on their games before. But it seems that Nintendo more and more is going with the free content route. And I find it just to be fascinating that that's the route they're taking. Not only because it makes their games feel more complete, but also because, hey, they could be making more money and they're choosing not to. And I find that to be a very interesting strategy from Nintendo. And I wonder what your guys' thoughts are on that. Obviously, we all like getting free content updates, so it's not like a matter of, oh man, we're going to complain we're getting free content. But I think there is something deeper to this, to think about Nintendo's overall viewpoint on why they do this, because they are a for-profit company. They're not just giving up money for no reason. And I think part of this is just, I think Nintendo's new way to justify the evergreenness of their titles. I think that's one thing, Nintendo has been chastised for decades now for not lowering the price of their games until like the last year of the generation, and then they, do some Nintendo Select titles. And I think one thing that helps justify that cost, at least from a mental perspective, is, hey, we keep updating the games with free stuff. So, like, why would we charge you less? When you buy it today, there's more stuff in it than the people who bought it at launch, right? Like, it's like a mind thing to keep justifying that decrease in pricing. I think most of us would prefer decreasing in pricing, but then you'd also get this stuff charged to you. So I find it very interesting how Nintendo is doing this. And I'm just, what are your guys' thoughts? I'm going to throw this up to the chat. Let's see what the chat has to say on this. Mr. Pete1985 said, what's up? I got into the PS5 beta. Nice, man. Congrats. Thank you for subscribing, Valkuran. Let's see here. We got 56 people. Why don't we have 56 likes? Come on, guys. It's free. See here, I think that is a good way to continue getting new buyers for a game at full price. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's kind of it justifies keeping the games at that price. Many of us would wish they would just price cut anyways, but then they will probably charge for this content. So I don't really know. It's all about maintaining customer loyalty, right? That's what this is all about. Keeping you playing their games, keeping you invested in their platform. I get it for games like Splatoon, where it's pretty much exclusive. I know they're single player, but I mean, it's popular due to the multiplayer. So I understand for games like that. But like for games where maybe it's not so reliant on that they're doing this, it's like, oh, okay. What's up, Josh Lightcat? Welcome, Vegeta. Welcome to Jerky89. Welcome. I'll be here until I finish work. It's been a minute since I've been to a live. Welcome, man. Aubrey Jackson says, I like how Nintendo is doing big updates for free and not DLC. And they do paid DLC, by the way. It's not like they're adverse to it. I mean, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to have paid DLC, almost guaranteed. So it's not like they're adverse to traditional paid DLC. But they've been going this route of free content updates, which, to be honest, I don't mind it. I think it's actually, for the most part, a decent thing to do. It's almost, it's hard to complain because, like, the big complaint about it could be that this content should have been in the games at launch. I understand that argument. But, like, the new course and the new playable character and all that doesn't make my opinion of Mario Golf change. So, like, it doesn't really make the game significantly better just adding some of this content in. The game's either good or not. So I don't know. That's just my take, though. Brian C says, I will say that most of the time when I buy a Nintendo title, I feel like I got my money's worth for the game. A lot of the third-party games, I cannot say the same for. Seahawks24 Rule says, what kills me sometimes is the DLC is so much more expensive per hour of gameplay, or at least a comparison to the main game. That happens. Ray is here. Welcome, Ray. Says, sorry for lurking so much. I love the new free content stuff they've been doing lately. Not Animal Crossing New Horizons or Tennis Aces, though. They're doing it a lot better. All right. DeFox says, I can't think of a better way to spend a weekend evening than to be on a Nintendo Prime stream. All right, let's snap back into this here. Buy Aces or Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Oh my gosh, let's not go to that part. Let's not go that far. Holy crud, going into Amiibo Festival. I think I brought that up the other day. It's like, oh my god, we're really talking about Amiibo Festival at this point. So that's kind of one thing, and then obviously Nintendo's financials came in for the first quarter. Things are looking great. I think some people are a little worried because it didn't hit 90 million. It only hit 89 million in sales. I want to be clear. That's what I expected. I said it, I think yesterday in a stream or whatever, that the system's like basically at 90 million. That was counting to today. So like counting quarter one plus July, which by the way, quarter one doesn't include July. It also doesn't include obviously this first week of August. So up to now, I'm fairly confident an extra million has sold and it's at 90 million. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't expect it to be 90 million after the first quarter because that means it would have had to sold almost 5.5 million in that quarter, which is what they did quarter one last year when they had the start of the pandemic, which caused a mass exodus of customers trying to buy electronics to do things at home. And you combine that with Animal Crossing. New Horizons came out the month before the start of the first quarter and was continuing to sell a crap load in that first quarter and became the second best-selling game on Switch. So that's a little bit different situation than looking at first quarter now, where you had some carryover from Monster Hunter Rise, not much though. And then that was really it. There really wasn't a lot of big titles that were going to move units. So it still moved over 4 million units, despite not having what I would call system sellers in the first quarter of this year. Unlike last year when you had a system seller come out right before the start of the first quarter. This year, there really wasn't a system seller, and yet it still was the second best first quarter in the history of Switch. Better than the first quarter back in 2017 when the thing was selling out. Better than 2018, 2019. The only thing that's not better than is the pandemic year. So, yeah, I think that the sales were very, very good and very healthy for Nintendo. It does suggest, obviously, that pandemic year might have been the peak year of Switch, potentially. We might never see sales hit that high again, and I think Nintendo knows that, but I also think Nintendo believes firmly that they can maintain something like 20 million a year for the next, 1, 2, maybe 3 years, and I think that's what Nintendo's current goal is, to less worry about minimal drop-off year over year, more or less worry about the overall goal of trying to sell 20 plus million units every year. So, and they're still well on pace to do that. We got to remember, this is quarter one. They sold, over 4 million. Quarter two, which has some better games, although Switch OLED was announced, so there could be, maybe only 2.5 million, I think, sold or so in quarter two, just waiting for Switch OLED. And quarter three has Switch OLED combined with, obviously, all the holiday titles and sales, and that's, probably going to sell another 10 million Switches. And then I firmly believe Pokemon Legends Arceus alone, let alone if another one of Nintendo's major titles pop off in the first 3 months next year, Nintendo's going to have no problem hitting 20 million this fiscal year. So I think things are fine. I don't know why some fans seem concerned. Maybe there's just some doom and gloom because they still didn't get Switch Pro or something. I have no idea. Switch sales are doing incredible. So let's see here. After holiday, that means they'll be at 102 to 103 million. Oh yeah, easily. Let's see here. According to financials, Nintendo's systems rank 1 through 11 are DS, Game Boy, Wii, Nintendo Switch, Game Boy Advance, etc. Switch is on track to take number 2. DS, I don't know opinion. So, Jamie, so here's the thing. It's going to pass Wii, right? Like, it should pass Wii before the end of this fiscal year. I firmly believe it's going to catch and surpass Game Boy. I mean, if you think about it, if they surpass Wii this fiscal year, let's just say they undershoot and they only sell 102, 103 million total at the end of this fiscal year, which would be under their projections right now. Okay, well, it only needs to sell another 15 million units from that point forward to match Game Boy. And we got to remember, we have, Splatoon 3, next year. We got Sparks of Hope. We got Breath of the Wild 2, and God knows whatever else Nintendo has planned. So in the end, I think they're gonna pass Game Boy next fiscal year, is my personal opinion. But if not, then definitely the next fiscal year. But I think it would be pretty disappointing if they didn't, for Nintendo, if they didn't pass it next fiscal year. Will it pass DS? That's tough. Because, let's say after the second fiscal year, they're sitting at 119, 120 million, which is really, really good. How many more years does Switch have left? And how many more of those years can it sell 15 plus million units? Because you would need at least 2 years of selling 15 plus million. You'd need, 3 years at 10 million. So it's very, it all depends on how long Switch is going to last, I suppose. And I guess something like a hardware refresh like a Pro could actually help it last long enough. So there's a lot of unknown variables right now. Because I feel like if they drop like a Switch Pro or a more powerful Switch that isn't a new gen, it might feel like a new gen, but it's not actually a new generation, so it's all still part of the same family. And they released that in 2023, and that extends Switch's life like another 3 years. Well, okay, and yeah, I think it's going to pass Game Boy, and I think it's going to end up passing PlayStation 2 at that point and become the best-selling platform of all time. But we'll have to wait and see. Reality is we don't know. We're in uncharted territory with Nintendo. Aubrey Jenks says, Nintendo 64 Online comes to Nintendo Switch Online and is shown at September Direct. You're going to cry so much. All right. Nintendo Switch outsold the Game Boy Advance. Yep. Next up is Wii, then Game Boy, then DS. That's it. That's the only 3 platforms ahead of it from Nintendo. Now, there's a bunch of Sony platforms as well ahead of it. But it has a chance to pass almost all of those as well, except PlayStation 2. Well, it has a chance to pass PlayStation 2. I just went over that, but I don't know that it's going to do that. Your thoughts on... I think you mean thoughts, not thoughts. That hoe over there. Anyways, on the hack, GU collection coming to Switch. I mean, anything coming to Switch is good. Anything that's not on Switch that comes to Switch is good. And oh! We got a $5 super chat from Toto Dub. How's it going, man? You said shot. All right. Well, you don't gotta ask me twice. Let me crack the old beer here, and we'll get a little beer shot in. The real shots, like the ones that are high alcohol, begin at $10. $20 is when you get the gold Schlager out. If we had $100 total, I get in trouble because woo! We got a little tequila coming my way, which tequila is like tequila for me. So, all right. Nintendo Lover Girl, welcome to the stream. This one's for you, Toto Dope. Thank you so much. All right. Nintendo needs a big AAA games to really push sales next year. Might be huge. Can't spell English. That's all right, Vegeta. Thoughts is just THOTS means that hoe over there on the internet. Just so you're actually probably means that off the internet too. I have no idea. Never seen it actually used in real life. But I'm, hanging around people closer to my age, which is like in the 30s. So not really slang that we were using in our younger days. Did you see the Mario Golf stuff today? Samus Hunter is right once again. Yeah, you mean the updates and stuff? Yeah, obviously I saw that stuff. Samus Hunter wins some and loses some, Sometimes she's right, sometimes she's wrong, and she was right about the Mario Golf stuff, so credit to her. There's nothing really else to say. Samus Hunter continues to be one of the more reliable leakers out there, but, not the most reliable, but one of the better reliable leakers out there, which is why I continue every once in a while, not everything she posts, but I continue to cover her stuff when I feel like it's something that's worth covering. Did you see the Mario Golf? Oh, yeah, I already read that. Don't worry, English is my only language, and I can't spell half the time. I mean, that ain't that the truth. And ew! Oh, Taker610, thank you so much for the $2. And Taker610 goes on to say,
does the 154 million DS include all the 2DS and 3DS variants?
No. So 154 million DS is just the original DS, as we call the DS Fat, the DS Lite, the DSi, the DS XL. All of those are what the DS family is. The 3DS is not counted in that. And 3DS is counted separately as its own generation of hardware. So, no. 154 million DS is just that DS era that happened during Wii. That's it. A Double Dragon remake would be cool. Remember that game. Double Dragon is cool. Let's see here. The software sales are on a bit of a rocket as well. Yeah, I mean, they're doing fine. You look at some of the things like, oh yeah, Pokemon Snap sold 2 million. Mario Golf sold 1.34 million. And like you start looking at those numbers and you're like, okay, and Animal Crossing in one day outsold all of that combined. And you can see why Nintendo's first quarter, couldn't outsell or match last year's first quarter, because the one game they had out was a way bigger deal than all the games released combined this year. That includes Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories 2. Throw all those games in the mix, doesn't matter. Animal Crossing outsold all of them. That's 6 quality games. Animal Crossing New Horizons outsold all 6 of them combined. So that's literally the explanation on why sales are a bit lower. Pandemic and Animal Crossing's a system seller. Nothing else that's come out this year is a system seller. That's just the facts of the situation. It's not like I'm, just making shit up here. What happened to my tall shot glass? Oh, there it is. Utengotten. Here we go. With that, head settle down a little bit before we do that $2 shot. Anyone that's interested, there's a pretty massive sale. Yeah, dude, the eShop has crazy sales going on right now. I just walked into a GameStop yesterday and bought a new copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Cool. You mean as a platform at this point? So, Jamie on Forever, what you mean is like the total software sales? I mean, the attach rate's not great. They're not at 700 million yet. The attach rate at this point is essentially 6 games to every Switch sold, which, by the way, is not a bad attach rate. But I mean, Wii was 9-1. Remember how people always say, oh, nobody buys games on Wii. They buy like one game and then Wii Sports. No, they sold almost 1 billion games on 100 million sales. It was a 9-1 game to console ratio. That was better than this. Switch does not have the same sort of ratio. The difference is, for Nintendo, is that Nintendo's game sales are much higher than they were even on the Wii. So while there's less total games being sold, a lot of those came from smash hits like Just Dance. There was some Just Dance that sold 20 plus million on Wii at one point. That doesn't happen. We still get Just Dance, but it ain't no 20 plus million seller anymore on a single platform. So there's a lot of, not a lot of third-party games that are seeing the kind of success that Nintendo games do. Sure, some of them cross 1 million, and that's great. But I mean, there were third-party games on Wii that were hitting 10 plus million easily. And that just isn't happening. I know Monster Hunter Rise obviously being that one outlier game right now, but that's like the one outlier game, and it's exclusive for the moment anyways. Is 1 billion software sales possible with the Nintendo Switch? 1 billion's possible, but it's going to be a matter of how many more years it's going to be on the market and how many more big games are coming. I think it's going to get up to 900 million, but how many Switches sold will it take to get to 900 million? And then the question is it on the market for another 4 or 5 years? If Switch has another 5 years on the market, absolutely it'll cross 1 billion games. If it doesn't have another 5 years on the market, then I don't know. See here. 3 months until I get my Switch OLED. Can't wait to start to play all my Switch games. I currently have 9. Will be 10 when Metroid Dread. Nice, man. Eric Isaac is here. Welcome. Says, hey, Nintendo Prime. Any idea on if there's a way to pre-order an OLED at this point? You just got to keep checking. They randomly come back in stock on different retail sites. So you just got to keep checking. It's not going to, it doesn't look like it's going to be super hard to get probably until November. In November, then you start to get the holiday sales, and it's hard to get a lot of the different electronics during holiday sales. So, but yeah, I would say it won't be too difficult. You might not be able to get it at launch at the moment without paying scalper prices, which you don't do that. Just wait a few days, and it'll be back in stock at some retailer near you. Some of them, by the way, might have them in store day one. Walmart, as an example, your local Walmarts might have some units that are going to be there day one that people can buy in store. So, so you might not even be out of luck for day one if you're willing to go to a store in person. Ice Sonic says Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD is $10 on eShop. Seems like a steal to me. I mean, it is if you're into that kind of game. If you're not into that kind of game, then, well, I mean, no matter what price it is, you don't enjoy it. You got 11 physical and 5 to 10 digital. Nice. Whatever you do, don't buy from scalpers. I mean, I always say if you can wait. If you're rich and just don't give a shit, well then, I mean, what do you care? Go buy a 3090 for $4,000. Actually, are they going for $4,000 still? I don't even know what 3090s are going for. Big help, thanks. No problem, man. Woo! So, yeah. I guess that's all my topics. I don't really have a lot of other topics for tonight. So the floor is yours. We will keep this thing going as long as I am being entertained and you are being entertained. And I'm entertained generally just by you guys being here. But obviously if the chat's going really slow, we don't get a lot of questions. At some point, it just gets to the point that I'm just talking to talk. And I don't want to just talk to talk because that's not any fun, man. Who wants to just talk to talk? Unless I'm drunk. And I'm not drunk. So I have 17 games, and 12 of them are my kids' games. What's your statue? This is Skirvo. He is should be a boss, but he's more like a mini-boss. He is a mini-boss, not more like one in Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword HD, I just say these days. So that is Skirvo. Let's see here. I got some texts. Some text messages. All right. So are you saying that you don't normally talk just to talk? No. No, I usually have a reason to what I'm talking. I don't usually just talk just to talk. Are you worried about Breath of the Wild 2's story? After playing Skyward Sword HD, I kind of am. Why? Tyler writes, can you explain to me why you're worried about the story? What about Skyward Sword HD has you worried about the story? I'm very curious. What has you worried? Paul Gale Network, shout out, man. He was a guest on our podcast yesterday. Are you going to get the Link statue that complements the one you have? I have the Link statue. It's broken. I'll show you. Ooh. My mic, I forgot I'm using a wired mic right now. Someday I won't use wired, but for now I do. See? Right here. I got the base and everything, but as you see, the Master Sword's broken. So I'm trying to find the Master Sword. I could bring over this one, though. This one is my Twilight Princess one. Could bring that one over. But the Skyward Sword one I have. It's just, I got to find the Master Sword. So it's waiting at the moment for me to find the Master Sword, which I know is in here somewhere. Got to do a deep clean. And then I'll super glue it back on. So yeah, of course I had the matching set. Jamie on Forever says, I noticed Nintendo ignores Virtual Boy for what it was, and the hack job Nintendo did with Gunpei. Yeah, I mean, the Virtual Boy didn't do well. I mean, it's just like the CDI and the Philips CDI and like the Sony partnership that fell through. These are just things Nintendo wishes you would forget existed, and that includes Virtual Boy. The chat's not scrolling on screen. Well, damn. I don't know. I don't think I can fix that. So if it's frozen on screen, it's frozen. I'd have to restart Streamlabs. When do I think Switch OLED will be back in stock? Like, I don't know, 2 days after it launches. Breath of the Wild lacks story. See, I disagree. I disagree vehemently that Breath of the Wild lacks story. Now, what I can tell you is Skyward Sword has 5+ hours of cutscenes, and the story is very in your face, and it's very forced upon you. It's a very story-heavy game. Notably, not a single other Zelda game is that story-heavy. Nothing comes close. So Skyward Sword is more like the outlier, not the standard, if that makes sense. How in your face and how forced the story is upon you and how much the game relies upon that story is very much exclusive to Skyward Sword. That being said, I don't know why that would make you worry, because I never thought Breath of the Wild story was lacking in the first place. Breath of the Wild story is extremely in-depth. That is, if you're willing to explore and figure it out. What made Breath of the Wild different is that, unlike other Zelda games, the story isn't forced upon you. You have to discover it. So if you go through the effort, by the way, I'm not just talking about the memories, right? Like, obviously, that's a big part of the story. I'm not just talking about the memories. There's so much lore, so much history, so much background, so much engaging things going on with some of these side characters and all this stuff in this world. It's very in-depth. But the game doesn't force you to go that in-depth. It's optionally in-depth. And I think that's where the misconceptions about it being a bad story or poor story or this or that come from, is because the story isn't forced on you. You have to go discover the story for yourself. That's, I think, why people think the story's weak. Factually, it tells a better story than half of the Zelda games out there. Way more depth. But the other games force the story on you. You could factually beat the final boss in Breath of the Wild and have no idea what the story is beyond, hey, Zelda's holding back Calamity Ganon. Go kill him. Let's see here. Do I have any wants for the setup? For this setup, do I have any wants? Yeah, a video wall. I want this wall over here you guys like never see. I want it to be a video wall. But those are really expensive, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Besides that, not really. I mean, eventually I want to go full wireless with the lav mics. I don't think a wireless setup will work at my current office location, just due to some electrical interference. But I would love to go with a full wireless lav set at some point, with lavs that can last for like hours. Because there's lavs and battery packs and all this you could buy that can last like 8 hours, which is plenty for live streams or anything else. I would like to build a new computer for streaming, but and editing. But I don't really have anything that's like a need. I'd love to switch this out for an OLED, but I mean, who cares? There's a lot of things that I could just want. I just don't really need anything. I think my setup is pretty good as is, to be completely honest. So, yeah. Breath of the Wild's lore is huge. It is. Vanetta 712 says, exactly. The difference is you have to go out and find the bits, though. And I see the reason why many wouldn't appreciate that way of telling a story. Yeah, that's the thing is, like someone mentioned earlier, Breath of the Wild story is there. It's just fragmented. Sort of. I mean, it's there the whole time. It's just the game. You have to discover it. This game is the game of Breath of the Wild is built around exploration, and that includes discovery, and that includes of the story, and people just aren't used to that. So it's like, oh man, there's no story. Oh, there's tons of story. but you got to look for it. You got to want it. If you don't want it and you don't go looking for it, they're not going to force it on you. That's just not the way that game works. Let me see. You're scrolling down. Yeah, all good. No worries. Skyward Sword made up for that for me. Better character, Groose or Girahim? So Groose and Girahim are both really good characters. You know, I'm kind of sad that I would assume Girahim will probably never return in the series. But yeah, he's a really cool character. But obviously that's on the bad side, and I always lean towards the good, so I'm leaning towards Groose. The Pompadour. I think Groose's story arc is pretty good. It's like a high school bully redemption story kind of story arc, and I like that. Whereas Girahim doesn't really have a story arc. Right? Girahim is who he is, and he is that thing the entire time. There's not really an arc to his story. He just is what he is. Whereas there's an arc to Groose's story. So because there's an arc, and because they bothered to put an arc in for a side character, yeah, I'm going to pick Groose. Thank you for subscribing, Rojo Shriek. Agree, quality of your videos are excellent. Thanks, Eric Isaac. I don't think they're the greatest videos ever, but I appreciate that people think they look good and sound good. They like what I'm saying, I guess. Breath of the Wild's ending was pretty underwhelming emotionally because of how the story was given to you. Plus, I can't care for any specific character like I did with Midna. See, I disagree. But here's the problem. So, like, Midna, Fi, which, by the way, I never cared about Fi. She's a robot. But all of the characters, when you talk about Navi or Midna or any, Eslo, etc., there's a bunch of them in the series. You're like, oh, yeah, I feel so connected to these characters. Well, one, there's no companion in this game. So, like, there's nothing for you to connect to in the same way that you would. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it really fair to be like, oh, yeah, I don't connect to the characters in Breath of the Wild as well as Midna? Like, okay, well, Midna was a companion that was with you the entire game. You don't have one in Breath of the Wild, so how the hell are you supposed to... Like, that's like an unfair comparison just from the word go. But setting that aside, there is actual depth behind almost every character. Like, every NPC in the game has a backstory. And you can find out that backstory either through side quests, reading journals, exploring. You could end up figuring out the backstory behind all these characters, which, by the way, helps you care about these characters and care about saving them. And I'm telling you now, if through the memories and just through some of the other things that you can discover in Hyrule Castle and all that, if you don't feel a connection to Princess Zelda in this game, unlike any prior Zelda game except maybe Skyward Sword, then what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you is that you just didn't complete enough of this stuff that's optional to get attached. The other games obviously force the things upon you, which creates a strong attachment for most people that play the game. So there's just two different approaches to gameplay and storytelling design, but the depth is there. The Breath of the Wild does not lack depth on its characters. It's just, you got to put in the work. Just like anything else, just like you meet someone in real life, guess what? You don't get to just know everything about, oh man, I see this person across the bar. Yeah, so you know everything? No. Check out their social medias. Check out this, check out that, talk to them, etc. Like, there's, it's just like, characters and people in the real world. You got to put in the work if you want to know them. If you don't put in the work, then you won't know them and you probably won't care. Let's see here. Let's see. Christopher Lockhart says, what's one game you would like to see get remastered? Hey, my camera signal went out. How about that? How? Why? Well, we better check that out. Until then, let me play a quick little beat for you. Anyways, sorry. I literally don't know why that happened. But whatever, we're back. Windbreaker HD is your favorite Zelda game of all time. Twilight Princess HD is your second. Oracle Games are your third. That says the Fox. Making Music says, do you think Breath of the Wild 2 will live up to the heights Breath of the Wild brought to the series, or be a little underwhelming? I think it's going to be better than Breath of the Wild, but not get as much praise as Breath of the Wild. Hope that makes sense. See, I didn't take that long to fix this one. See, when the camera goes out like that, it's a really easy fix. You just unplug the HDMI cable and then plug it back in. It hasn't gone out like that in a while, so I'm not sure what caused it to time out. Maybe there was just some signal interruption because my motherboard has been giving me fits for a while now. I honestly think I just don't have enough PCI lanes. I think it's time to go Threadripper. I got so much high grade equipment hooked up to USB ports on this thing. Definitely overloading. Oh, there the signal goes again. I'm definitely overloading the PCI E lanes on this thing. 1 second. Come on, computer. You piece of junk. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nobody asked you. All right, hold on. That's going to come back here in a second. Let me look at some stuff on here, make sure nothing's messing things up here. We're going to close this. All right. Well, hopefully things work now. Hopefully things are all good now. I don't know why. If the camera keeps going out, we're just going to have to call the stream. Because I'm not sure there's anything I could do at this exact moment to make sure it stops doing this without rebooting the computer. And at that point, you just kind of cancel the stream. All right, take your 6 time with the $2. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. I can't turn this off. There we go. There it is. There's an error finally on that computer. I was wondering, I'm still live though, right? Yeah, I'm still live. So we're just going to roll with it. Finally, something crashed on my computer that was causing issues. Hey, look, a memory issue. Cool. Does this thing still work? Help! So that's a crash. Voice mod crashed. And yet it still works. That makes sense. Gotta love my computer. Don't be shy and hide from us. Don't be shy and hide from us. I'm not hiding. I'm right here. We're all good. Let me get Taker's little beer shot in here. The best part of waking up is pouring some beer in your cup. If we get a remaster of Luigi's Mansion or Luigi's Mansion 4, I will pre-order it. My only hope is it's my favorite Zelda Nintendo series. All right, yeah. Sorry, I'm texting my old lady. Any tips on how to help mental health? Ooh, more. For starters, you've already done step 1, and that's admitting that mental health is needed. Mental health is something that is hard. I don't know what age you are or what kind of drama is going on in your life, or your family situation, school situation, friends, whatever. I don't know anything about you other than being a member of the board of directors of Nintendo Prime. And I'm going to get to you in a moment, Eric Isaac. I know I usually say that the super chats jump to the top. But we are talking about mental health for a moment, so I want to complete my thought process here. I don't want a more 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 to feel left out. Bottom line is that I've had depression before. I probably always will have a smidge of depression somewhere. My fiance suffers from extreme depression. My best friend Eric also suffers from extreme depression. So that my mom does as well. My dad does. Almost everyone in my life suffers from it. My daughter. So, um, the best thing about mental health, is that I know it sounds dumb, but in some ways it's almost a choice to be happy. And that feels weird to say because you can't always choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you react to the things that happen to or around or to people that you love. And oftentimes, a lot of us choose the easy way out. We choose to feel bad for ourselves. We choose to try to blame ourselves or blame others. We choose to dwell on things that we can't do anything about or can't change. Like I got evicted at one point when I was younger, and I could still be dwelling on that to this very day if I wanted to. But you know what? The day after it happened, I decided I'm not going to think about it because guess what? I can't change what happened. I can only learn from it and do better moving forward. And in some cases where there are things I can't control, like a family member being sick, in the end, once it's done, once it's happened, once it's over with, it's like, okay, it's in the past now. You learn from that experience, you grow from it, and you move on. So the best thing about taking care of mental health to me is one, obviously surround yourself with some positive influence. Make sure you are talking about what's going on in your life to someone. If it's not your parents, if it's not your siblings, find a friend, find a counselor, find somebody to at least talk to your feelings. Don't bury your emotions because burying them is only going to lead to a bigger problem later. That's usually what happens when people end up, committing suicide or going into even deeper depression. Sometimes even going mentally insane is burying their emotions, and then it comes out later in a really bad way. For some people, it's literally an explosion of physical violence is what happens. Like, it's insane. Don't hold that stuff in. Find somebody to release your emotions to. Heck, maybe that somebody is just you and God or something. Whatever you got to do. I don't really care. It's your personal choice. But confide in somebody. And then beyond that, just try to focus on the positives in life. When you wake up and you see the sun out, you might go, oh man, it's going to be hot today or it's going to be whatever. But go outside and just look at some nature if you can and be like, oh, okay, like this is the result of some of that heat and rain or whatever other emotions and feelings you get from the weather. Be like, this is the result and it's kind of beautiful. It makes you appreciate things more. Just doing little things that you enjoy, not overdoing it. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, I enjoy drinking with friends, so I'm going to go drink a whole bunch all the time, 7 days a week. Like, no, don't do that. Or you enjoy playing video games, so then you decide to play video games for 80 hours a week. Like, that's not necessarily healthy either, especially, when that's consistently 80 hours every single week, which I know many of us are like looking in the mirror and going, oh yeah, we've been there. We've been there. We've worked at like a double shift before playing video games. We've had those weeks, those months, those years for some of us where you played that many hours of video games a week. But I just look at it more as you're already at step one, and that's admitting that you're down and that you don't want to be there, and you're already seeking advice. Step two is having someone to confide in, to let your emotions out. Step three, obviously, at that point, is just focusing on the little things that you do enjoy, but doing them in healthy amounts. So find like a variety of things. Like, I enjoy shooting hoops. I enjoy, taking the walks out in the woods and nature and going to certain creeks and all that. I enjoy, sometimes I enjoy listening to music and just mellowing out. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, I enjoy going out for drinks once in a while. Like, I'll combine all these things into just setting kind of a set of priorities for the day. Like, tomorrow I'm going to go out to the pub with my friends. That's one fun thing I want to do with me and my mates. Maybe earlier in that day I decided, hey, I'm going to play like an hour or so of video games. As like a pick me up in the morning before I go to work or whatever. And make sure you set a timer, by the way, if you do that, so you don't lose track of time and end up late to work. Maybe you need to get a job. Maybe, hitting the job line and getting a couple applications in a day. Even if you just get a single application in a day, that's better than getting 0 applications in. So yeah, it's just a lot of little things. There's no like easy button, right? Everyone wants that depression easy button, but that's not really how life works. You know, there's no easy button for depression. You just got to keep working through it every single day and start to focus a lot more on the small things rather than the big ones, because oftentimes it's the big ones that make us feel most depressed. All right, we had a super chat earlier. I need to make sure I get to getting us a real shot going from Eric Isaac. Thank you, Eric Isaac, for the $10. Where is the other shot glass? There it is. I mean, I got another one there too, but that one's done it. All right, we grab the UV Cherry Red because we had a $10 super chat. It says, happy to have weekday streams back. I hope vacation was great. It was good for parts. Yulia getting a double eye infection was not good. Our insurance not covering out of state care, not good. So there were some rough patches, but there was some really, really good stuff too that happened. Chiefly being, hey, we got to spend time together with the kids. That's always a winner. Cheers, Eric. All right. Family went to Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin without you? What? They're back now? What? I'm so confused. Okay. You help so much. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, no problem. I just, you know, I'm not a therapist. I've been to therapy. And I can tell you what, I mean, I got the therapy, and these are just the things I do now every day. I mean, you can also, I can't prescribe this. I'm not a doctor, but, you know, you could also maybe have some, a little plant could help mellow you out a little bit, too. If it's legal in your state. Or your country, or wherever you're at. I will personally say, after doing some edibles in Vegas on vacation, it's legal there. Yeah, they're nice. I'm in depression. I tried to go to the other side. I'm better off now after having a sigh. What? I remember agreeing to a friend that he could talk to me for therapy. Big mistake. Yeah, a big thing to remember is your friends and family, when you, like, whoever you confide in, when you have depression and you're in that low spot, you need to always remember they are not therapists. So they're not going to always be completely sensitive to your situation. They're not always going to tell you things that help you. They always will probably, if they care about you, be doing what they think will help you, but they're not actually therapists. So yeah, therapists study the brain, and they study human emotions and have a far better understanding of these things than your friends and parents and whoever else. Even if they've had depression and been through similar stuff, it's still, you can never, and this is why I always say when I give my advice, I'm not a therapist. I'm telling you from my own experiences, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And even when you go to therapy, doesn't mean that first therapist is the right one for you. The therapist I've been using my whole life is someone that took me like 17 tries before I got a therapist that worked for me. So they all have different approaches. They all have different personalities, different ways to connect with you. Anyways, repeat question: do you think Breath of the Wild 2 will sell as well as the first? Yes. Yes, I think it'll outsell the first, which would be interesting because that's never really happened where a direct sequel on the same platform has outsold the first one. I don't think that's ever happened at Nintendo. Maybe someone will find an example. I don't think it's ever happened. So it is kind of bold to say it'll outsell the first one, but screw it, I'm going there. As long as it comes out next year. If it gets delayed to 2023, then no. There won't be enough time. When I get depressed, I visit a zoo when it's quiet. Animals are nice. Yep, if you really love animals. Do 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 do. I have autism, and oftentimes my mind gets overwhelmed with stuff that goes on around me, which leads to me to have anxiety and stress. Oh yeah, I understand that. Man, I don't understand what it's like to have autism, but I can understand, the anxiety and stress. All of us can be understanding of anxiety and stress. I think all of us, no matter what it was, have experienced something like that before. Not sure that 100% related to therapy. There was a minefield episode on Vsauce on YouTube. The kids go through a machine, and it told them it would make them feel better. It didn't. Kid said, "Yeah, that's a sentiment. They call that a Oh God, what's the name for that? Like a kind of sort of like a placebo effect, where your brain could trick you into feeling better, or maybe make pain that does exist go away, because you truly believe in something. It's a crazy thing that our brains can do that and give you like a placebo effect where you feel better. But it happens, and sometimes this is how some people have cancer. They're said terminal. You got like 4 days to live, and some of those people that end up miraculously recovering, a lot of that is belief. If they believe they can recover, there's so many things that go in our bodies we don't understand. If you believe in something enough, your brain sends all these crazy signals that can end up leading to your body even fighting off cancer. It's insane. There's just so much that can go into all of this stuff. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the experiment they did. I mean, the proof is that, hey, we can make you feel better if you just want to believe you can feel better, right? Crazy lineup for Switch the rest of the year. I mean, it's a pretty nice lineup. I wouldn't say there's any. I mean, the Pokemon games probably. I wouldn't say there's any like system sellers in there, but there's a lot of really good games, right? I mean, great games. I just don't feel like there's really that one big system seller, but there is a lot of quality content coming. Autism sucks. Depression, autism, pretty much any mental thing sucks, besides like pure joy or whatever. I guess if you always feel pure joy all the time, I mean, is that a problem? Is it too early to be thinking about that September Direct? I mean, we're in August. It's not too early. A month beforehand I think it's fine. I mean, there's probably going to be one, right? They seem to be on a normal Direct schedule this year, so I feel like we're going to be getting one in September because we usually do. Legends Arceus, think it's going to be good. I think it will be good. I'm going to go with it will be good. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Game Freak doesn't mess it up. Because I'll always have hope right here beside me. Yeah, I know about Samus Hunter and the September Direct. We made a video on it. What's up, Greg? How's it going, Greg? You having a good day? You having a good Thursday? It's Thursday. Ooh. Ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, what are we, 10 members away? 10 members away from a hundo. We'll get there someday. I swear. I swear we'll get there. Do I like MMOs at all? I mean, yeah, I played a lot of World of Warcraft. I played some Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, Evo. For those who don't know, it's EverQuest Online, not the fighting tournament. Anyways, yeah, I've played quite a number of them, I'd say, over the years. So yeah, I guess I can say I'm a fan of MMOs. I don't really play any this time, and my camera went out again. But jeez, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. Train them is my cause. I will battle across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon! Anyways, gonna get in trouble enough already. You even utter like 3 words of the Pokemon song and you get copyright, so. Yay! But dang, that song is so good. All right. So even no sound effects, yeah. Every now and then. All right. Get your questions in. Questions, please. Come on, guys. I know you want to answer me some questions. Hello? Hey, ho. Hey. Whoa. Hey. Oh. Let's go. Hey. Oh. Let's go. Let's try this. Hey, oh. Hey. Oh. Whatever. I don't know. I got no sound effects anymore. No! Damn you, Scuba Steve! I got no sound effects anymore the rest of the stream. Oh well. World ends. What are we talking about? Have I played Monster Hunter Stories 2? Not yet. That's why the camera went out. The Pokemon Company predicted I would sing the Pokemon song. I'm gonna get some sleep later, Christopher. Have a good night. The camera has not been on the whole time. Yeah! My computer's locking up. Lovely! I'll see if I can get the stream going again. I'm going to have to do a full reboot on my computer. It's really messed up. So, I can't even play music for you guys because the computer's going to get shut off. So what do I have to say to that? Stick around if you want. If you don't, have a good night. I'll be right back. All right. We're back. Things are running better now. I don't know how many people are still here, but it's whatever. Hi, I'm back. Yeah. And we're back from outer space. You with that sad look upon your face. Ice, baby. Dun 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 dun. Oh! All right. We're probably going to end this stream in like 10 minutes anyways, guys. But how was my day, Dennis? My day was A-okay. What's more ambitious, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or Xenoblade Chronicles X? Ah, man, that's a tough one. I don't know, man. I think they're both ambitious, so it's tough to really think, on that one. I don't know. Do. Oh. What do you do for work besides YouTube? You mean what's my job? YouTube's not my job. I can't. And it's like stuff I'm not allowed to talk about due to. I guess you could just say it due to NDAs is the easiest way to say it. It's just some stuff I can't talk about. It deals in migration. Well, that's all I can say. Migration of what? I don't know. Birds? I have no idea. You saw my super chat but forgot to read it. Did I? I'm scrolling up here. Oh, it'd be weird to have the Rito and Loft Wings. Wouldn't it? It would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? I'm gonna do an extra shot for you, man. Damn it. What's wrong with me? Oh, man, that's a double shot. Well, whatever. It's just beer, right? Right? It's just beer. And that's what she said because, oh. Aw. Aw. That's sad. So I have these. That works. But the voice changers
don't work.
That's lame. Well, thank you, Eric Isaac. I guess I gotta just do it the old-fashioned way, right? No special music for you. Here, we'll do this. No, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hey, oh, what did I do? Oh, there it is. That's why there's not much left. All right, so we got a $10 super chat in from Eric Isaac, who said, been to Milwaukee and Appleton, next best place in Wisconsin to visit. If you like NFL, I mean, Green Bay. Otherwise, I mean, Green Bay is also just a very beautiful place to visit. Lacrosse can be a lot of fun. Lacrosse isn't bad. I don't live down that way. I'm up in northern Wisconsin, so. But I've been to all those places. I've pretty much been to I think I've been everywhere in Wisconsin. I don't think there's anywhere I have. There's probably some roads I haven't driven on, but I think I've pretty much been everywhere in Wisconsin. All right. Every time I open your streams on my computer, the resolution is at the 144p. That's weird, man. I have no idea why it does that. Jeff Rule, how happy are you with the Bucks win? Did you get your Bucks gear in yet? Bucks in 6, baby! Yeah! Champions. No, I don't have the gear yet. No. My finals gear has not arrived yet, but that's all right. That's all right. I'll be wearing that crap for the entire next season for the Bucks. So, yes, I have been to Door County. And yes, I've been to Al Johnson's Swedish restaurant. Yes, I have. That's I think if you go to Door County, you gotta go to there, right? Dooba 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 doop. Man, the chat just die? Is the chat dead? 911! 911! The chat needs resuscitation! Refresh my studio. The chat needs resuscitation! 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Just breathe, damn it! Breathe! Have I been to the Norsky Nook? Sure have. Later, Vanata 712. You have a good one. Excuse me? Crazes cough. It says I'm here. I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Heyo. Oh yeah. Favorite Mario game of all time? I feel like such like a recency whore. It's Super Mario Odyssey. Such a recency whore. It was Galaxy 2 before that. And Super Mario World before that, so. But, there you go. Oh, we got another one in from Taker610. $2 super chat says Bucks are a sure thing for the 2071 NBA title. It'll now be another 50 years. Hey, at least I should still be alive, I hope. Maybe I won't be. I guess I'll be pretty old in another 50 years. But hey, if I'm still around, at least I could have said, hey, I've been alive for 2 Bucks championships. How many people can say that? Especially with 50 years apart. Have I played Pokemon Unite? No, I have not. The game has never interested me at all. Zero interest in Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite with my anus. Seriously. I have no interest in Pokemon Unite. It doesn't even look good. Now I know looks can be deceiving. Man, the chat really is slow. Well, the chat is slowing down. I guess you know what that means. Probably time to get the stream cut off here. I do have to do a little cleanup after the kids anyways, upstairs. Nothing too bad. Could create a Zelda game. What would it be like? Breath of the Wild? It literally would be like Breath of the Wild with like a handful of dungeons that are seamless with the world. Yeah. Pokemon Unite has pay-to-win microtransactions. All the more reason for me not to play it. Would you like to see a Zelda RPG turn-based game? Sure, why not? Will we get any more gameplay of Pokemon Legends? I mean, well, obviously, before it comes out, absolutely. Best Mario game, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I mean, it's a good game. Not my favorite, but it's good. You would like a Zelda game to start after Majora's Mask? Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. What's my name again? Oh, what's my name again? I feel like I need a little pick-me-up. Let's see, what am I rocking in here? Oh! Oh, what's that? Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Major Melon. Mountain Dew charged with watermelon. Let's give this a little tasty taste. Not bad. I can actually taste the watermelon. I didn't think I'd be able to taste it that much. One of these drink companies needs to sponsor me, man. Come on, you know how much like pushing G Fuel I can do on this channel? Come on. Which month do you predict Breath of the Wild 2 will be launched in 2022? November. Yeah. November next year. Big holiday title. Hopefully with a Zelda themed Switch to accompany it. Yeah. And welcome, Donna, by the way. I think it's the first time I've seen you tonight. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Yeah. When solo fighting, but if your whole team have good item, then it could change fights. In terms of the pay to win, I don't know. I literally have not any interest in Pokemon Unite, so I have no idea how bad it is. Or maybe it's how good it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. What the fuck? Oh yeah, that's the spot. What am I, Mickey Mouse? Let's see here. Sorry. I think I might be ordering in a smidge of food. My one meal of the day. Wow, my one normal meal. What the heck is this place? Is that a new restaurant? Wait. Oh, whoops. That's not where I live. I'm gonna get the local restaurants. Why would I order toppers through this and not through the toppers website? That's just dumb. I know I'm not getting pizza. I can't wait that long. I'm hoping April's at the latest. You're talking about for whatchamacallit, Breath of the Wild. Wait, is everything closed, really? Hold on. Since when do some of these places close then? I swore like 99% of these things were open. So the only thing open is gas station food? That's lame. Lame. At least through that app. Oh no, it's Grubhub that has. I forget we have Grubhub in this area too. So what we don't have is like Uber Eats. We also don't have God, what's the other one? Eat Street. Not in this area anyways. We're really small. I'm surprised we have any of these things. Really? What the heck? Sorry, I'm I'm trying to order food and like it's not remembering my address or anything. It's really weird. All right, there we go. Finally got current location to work. How about Grubhub Dance? Yeah, I'm on Grubhub right now. Yeah, there we go. Grubhub has some of the places they're delivering from. Maybe. Wait, is there anything? What? Really? Only one place on Grubhub's delivering right now? That's so dumb. All right. Let's see if I can get food ordered. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get anything ordered from this place. I want some fish, man. Where's my fish? Sorry, I'm trying to finish my order. Damn it. Oh, what's my card? I don't have my wallet on me. Damn it. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to order my food. I'm not really paying attention to the chat right now anyways at this point. But you guys are awesome. Thank you to all the people who super chatted tonight. I greatly appreciate it. We hit $31 tonight. You guys are awesome. I know we had some technical difficulties. It is what it is. We'll be back at the live streams tomorrow night at 8 for our last, live stream of the week. Otherwise, we will have a video in the morning, assuming I remember to upload it this time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you as we get back into the full swing here in our first week of August. And I'll catch you in the next video.